all right. Listen, listen, kid. I did my job. Now, it's your turn. Where's the money?
That's right. Don't worry. Did you like the show?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Did you like and subscribe?
No.
Hey, Gabe.
Philip, I'd like to talk to you regarding your recent performance. Have a seat. James, light!
Do I know where's the button? Okay,
James.
got it. Yeah, right there.
So, I understand that there has been a misallocation of our organization's funds.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that Aiden wanted to be paid with, like, money. We didn't really have any. So I kind of took the rest of newspaper's budget and spent it on him. So we don't really have money for the next guest, I guess.
Well, according to Williamsville East 2018 to 19 DASA handbook, that unfortunately is a violation punishable by re-education.
Oh, look, a potential guest.
James, get him!
Welcome back, East, to episode 2 of The Bonfire. Today, we have our esteemed guest, David.
Hi.
David, what are you here to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about a club I made alongside with Aiden Beecher called Traveling Musicians Club.
So what's this club about? What do you do in this club?
The club is essentially about getting students together, writing or learning music, and also performing it.
So what was it like to start your own club?
It honestly isn't as difficult as you would imagine. So you just have to go to the main office, talk to Mr. Gray about it, and you get the sheet where you write down the advisors, possible members, the title, description of all of it. You just give it to him. And as long as it's approved, which it should be, you can agree with your advisor on a day to start the club, and you can get it announced on the announcements. Yeah, that's how you start a club. It's not that difficult.
So who is the advisor of this club?
Dr. Schuin.
And what does he bring to this club uniquely?
Just his personality, like how he is. If you ever see him jazz ensemble or wind, this is just how he is with everybody. And he doesn't really take control of the club that much. He's usually off to the side. If students need help, they can come to him, and he knows his stuff.
So this, for all intents and purposes, is a club run by students for students, you would say?
Essentially, and to some extent, yes.
So where can students perform the things that they're learning in this club?
Well, for inside of school performances, there's always Coffee House. And
Coffee House.
Yeah.
This June. Coffee House.
Coffee House.
Come to Coffee House. Waffles? Maybe waffles. Coffee House. Come to Coffee House.
Coffee House. And there's also the homecoming events like the rallies, the homecoming football game, and also Winterfest and maybe some other games or things like the ping pong tournament that was earlier, I think last month. And when it comes to outside of school performances, public performances, we're believing and thinking about coffee shops like Spot Coffee, nursing homes for volunteering hours if anybody wants or needs them, and also just like local festivals in downtown Buffalo.
So if anybody's looking for entertainment like a coffee house environment, Coffee House, June. Coffee House. Coffee House. So if anybody's looking for different student-run entertainment, we have plenty of students that would love to perform out in public for different volunteer and paid events.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just an exciting thing to see. So were there any big troubles that you had with starting the club? Any big hurdles that you had to overcome?
Well, there haven't really been any major trouble so far. Like, we've just started a club. We just had a first meeting a couple days ago. So right now, we can't really say how we see the club going. But in the upcoming meetings over the next few weeks, there might be troubles or just will be easygoing.
Are you looking for any particular skill level to join?
In terms of skill level for someone's music proficiency, probably someone who at least knows how to learn how to play an instrument or can sing, because this club isn't really about learning an instrument. If you want to learn violin, cello, or the harp even, this isn't the club to go to for learning an instrument. So you want somebody who knows how to play an instrument pretty well and have some sort of creative ability and a drive to learn all this or make music.
So there's no real barrier except for you have an instrument, kind of do some stuff with it, or you have your voice and you can do some stuff with that, and that's cool.
Essentially, yeah.
And you can come in and join and meet other musicians and have some fun playing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you, David. We're going to cut now to the panel with David's permission, of course. David, can we cut to the panel?
Sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our panel. We're here today with James.
Hi.
He's a gamer.
Yeah.
Cool. We're also here with Gabe.
I'm still cool.
He's still cool. Not a gamer, though. We'll still accept him, though. Gabe, you have a very interesting topic this week. Care to explain?
Yeah, so a few weeks back, Burger King New Zealand released an ad that some deemed offensive on their Instagram account. And it was to advertise their new, I believe, Vietnamese chicken chili sandwich. And it showed a bunch of people misusing chopsticks to eat the sandwich. And there was a lot of outrage on Twitter and social media calling it racist and cultural appropriation. Your thoughts on this ad?
Yeah, besides the fact that it probably wasn't a great idea to film this kind of thing, it wasn't even really... It was a very basic idea, and it wasn't really carried through super well. I mean, you have people using giant plastic chopsticks to eat a hamburger.
James?
Yeah, it was, really weird, and I didn't like it. It's, like, they are just so incompetent just taking these giant plastic chopsticks to eat hamburgers like they're sushi, and it was just really bad. I didn't like it. Racist? Yeah, kind of.
You know what? I'm actually in the minority that thought this episode was not offensive to minorities. And, okay, so obviously I grew up and am growing up in an Asian household, and we use chopsticks almost every night. And when I saw the video, my first reaction was, this is super funny. Like, I actually thought it was funny how they were butchering the use of chopsticks. And to the people calling it racist, I don't really see how, because they're trying to push an Asian product. And why would they not use Asian utensils to push the Asian product? If anything, I thought it was like good that they're, trying to like have different flavors and represent different cultures. Even if they kind of like butchered Asian cooking styles, I didn't really take offense to that. I thought that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't think really the humor of it was like, haha, chopsticks are funny. I think it was more people don't know how to use them. But I think, James, you had a different perspective on that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Hearing your point, it's not necessarily racist, just that, like, the whole idea that, yeah, Asian people use chopsticks could have been done a lot better instead of just giant chopsticks and people looking like idiots on screen. So, yeah, I guess that's where most of my anger comes from. Just, wow, these people are real incompetent, and this is just really unuseful.
Yeah, but I definitely don't think they were racist, because, like, they weren't portraying negative stereotypes. They weren't, like, saying any racist slurs or mocking anyone. Like the only thing they were doing was butchering the use of chopsticks, and I just
Yeah.
thought that was funny. I can see why other people might not, but I thought it was funny personally.
It's not worthy of outrage, is what you're
Right,
Yeah.
definitely.
It just looks stupid.
saying. All right, so we're going to move on to the New York budget proposal, in which that just passed, in which there is a plastic bag ban instituted. So what this means is that at grocery stores, at the checkouts, in the coming year, they will slowly not be offering plastic bags, or there's an optional opt-in for a 5-cent charge for plastic bags. The exception for this is raw meats, some carry-out containers things. So I think if you go to a restaurant, they can still offer you plastic bags, but they're going to be greatly decreasing the usage of plastic bags. Do you guys think that these rules go too far, or did they go not far enough, allowing some of these exceptions?
I think this is a good first step, but that being said, I think they made a big mistake in not either making the fine on paper bags mandatory or banning paper bags altogether, because studies actually show that it costs more energy to produce and transport the paper bags, which is inadvertently bad for the environment. So they might be cutting it down in one area, but they're just bringing the environmental destruction up in the realm of making paper bags. And I think I really think that in the future, they should make efforts to do the same thing for paper bags.
So you want to extend this to paper
Definitely.
bags as well as plastic bags?
Right.
Okay. James, what do you think about this?
Reusable bags are cool. I have nothing else really planned.
So you don't really think it's like it's not too much of a
well-
strain to ask consumers not to use plastic bags?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I use like a reusable bag all the time. It's not too much of a hassle, and usually they look pretty cool.
So you just think about fashion too.
Yeah, I gotta get that cool Wegmans swag.
I mean, to be honest, I'm guilty of using plastic bags, but
Of course.
it was never like a conscious decision. Like if
Right.
Wegmans told me, okay, you gotta bring your own bag now, I totally do it, because like, you know, I know it's better for the environment. I just never put much thought into it until this proposal came out.
So now we got James.
All right,
James, who is a gamer, has
Yes,
brought his
it is.
gaming content to this show.
All right. Looking at video games, there's definitely arguments to be made for how they're marketed for like skill-based gameplay, or just anyone can play them. You got examples like Fortnite for more casual team-based play, and Overwatch where you can spend hours devising team comps, mapping out like your opponents. And then you even have like on even more extreme ends, clicker games, click a button, have fun. And Osu where the button is now moving and you have like half a second to click it properly or you fail. Now, Gabe, Philip, what do you think about these?
You know what? I absolutely love clicker games. Like, those are my absolute favorite things. I don't believe in skill-based games at all, because I don't know about others, but when I do play video games, it's to de-stress from homework or like whatever I do in the rest of my day. And the last thing I want is to have a game where I gotta work hard to level up and everything. Like Fruit Ninja, Brick Breaker, Pong, top 3 games of all time for me.
And I've
Alright,
got
that's
a
reasonable.
good mix of that. There's different times where usually I'm playing a game and I've got like 15 minutes for something like a clicker game. Yeah, sure. Waste 15 minutes and have fun. You don't want to really stress out. But there's sometimes when you want to sit down for long sittings, and playing something a little bit more challenging is a little bit more rewarding. So I think it's great to expand your reach and try out different types of games, and
Yep.
I think it's totally fine that Grandma and Gabe can play clicker games whenever.
Oh, okay, I see. You're
whenever
taking
they
subliminal
want.
digs right here. I
Whenever
know
they
what that
want.
is.
I know. Just Gabe loves his Farmville, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I guess those are both reasonable options. Skill versus accessibility can also boil down to just what do you want to play at the moment. Do you want something like just de-stress and relax, or do you want to like have fun, coordinate, and like map out 3 hours of just planning for one match to get a guaranteed win or something? So, yeah, I guess there's definitely multiple ways to see this issue. Right then.
Diversity good in everything, even
Everything.
games.
Even games.
Even with gamers.
So yeah, that wasn't so bad. We had a great guest. We had a great panel. I mean, even though I spent all the budget, at least we kept the lights on.
Thanks, Philip.
Looks like we need a sponsor, Gabe. Could you help us out with that?
Oh yeah.
See you next week. And now, a message from our sponsor.
This episode is generally sponsored by the wonderful folk at www.gabeco.com, the best stop for all of your web development needs. For more information, please visit www.gabeco.com. This message has been approved and paid for by Gabe Glow.